Jaya सब लोग चले गए
To the Supreme Lord, whose form is the embodiment of eternal existence, knowledge, and grace, whose shape earrings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the realm divine of God, who, due to the offense of breaking the bond of love that his mother was carrying in the battle, and then stealing the battle that was kept hanging from the string, is quickly running from the wooden grinding water in fear of mother Sora, who has been caught from behind by her, who ran after him with greater speed. To that Supreme Lord I offer my humble obeisances. Seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with 3 lines like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To this Supreme Lord Sri Damodar, whose belly is bound not with drops, but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances. By such childhood pastimes as this, he is drowning the inhabitants of gospel and pools of ecstasy, and is revealing to those devotees who absorb in knowledge of his supreme majesty and opulence that is only conquered by devotees whose pure love is imbued with intimacy and is free from all conceptions of power and reverence. In great love, I again offer my obeisances to Lord Damodara hundreds and hundreds of times. Oh Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon which may be obtained by executing the 9 processes of bhakti. Oh Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours, as Bala Gopala and Vrindavan, may ever be manifest in my heart. For what is the use of me of any other boon besides this? Oh Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair, tinged with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yasoda, and your lips are reddish like the beak of food. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use. O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisances unto you, O Damodara, O Ananda, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord, be pleased upon me by showering your glance of mercy upon me. Deliver this poor ignorance fool, who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows, and become visible to my eyes. Lord, O Lord Damodar, just as the 2 sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Narakuvara, were delivered by the curse of Nara and made into great devotees by you, in your form as a baby, tied with rope to a wooden grinding mortar. In the same way, please, give me your own Prema Bhakti. I only long for this and have no desire for any kind of operation. O Lord Damodara, I first of all offer my obeisances to the brilliantly effulgent robe which binds your belly. I then offer my obeisances to your belly, which is the abode of the entire universe. I humbly bow down to your lotus, at your most beloved Srimati Radharani. I offer my obeisances to you, the Supreme Lord, who displays unlimited power. Shri Shri Damodar Bhagavan Ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 17, text 14. 1714, 15. 1715. Anubrega karam, vyakam, satyam, priya, hitam, cha, ya, swadaya, abhyasanam, cha, eva, vakmayam, tapa, uchate. Anurveda karam vakyam, satyam priya, hiram chaya, swadabhya sanam chaiva, varmayam tapa uchate. Anurveda karam vakyam, satyam priya, hiram chaya, swadhyaya sanam chaiva, varmayam tapa uchate. Anurveda karam vakyam, satyam priya, hitam chaya, swadhyam sanam chaiva, varmayam tapa uchate. What translation? Anurveda karam, not agitating. Vakyam, words. Satyam, truthful. Priya, dear. Hitam, beneficial. Cha, also. Yat, which. Syadaya, Vedic study. Abhyasanam, practice. Cha, also. Eva, certainly. Vakmayam, of the voice. Tapa, austerity. Uchate is said to be. Translation of as divine message in austerity of speech consists of speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others, and also in regularly reciting Vedic scriptures. Let's repeat. Austerities of speech consist in speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others, and also in regularly reciting Vedic literature. One should not speak in such a way as to agitate the minds of others. Of course, when a teacher speaks, he can speak the truth for the instruction of his students. But such a teacher should not speak to those who are not his students if he will agitate their minds. This is penance as far as talking is concerned. Besides that, one should not talk nonsense. The process of speaking in spiritual circles is to say something upheld by the scriptures. One should at once quote from scriptural authority to back up what he is saying. At the same time, such talk should be very pleasurable to the ear. By such discussions, one may derive the highest benefit and elevate human society. There are limitless stock of Vedic literatures, and one should only study this. This is called penance of speech. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sthapitam Swayam Rupa Paramana Bhavanti Swaparam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shri Rupa Sagadatam Sarvamatam Santam Savadmatam Sarvatam Vatam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Shri Radhika Swami Vishakam Hey Krishna Kadana Sindhu Gopishra Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Dr. Namsana Gaurangi Radha Vishwabham Studio Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Radha Shri Sadguru Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama. Austerity of speech consists in speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others, and also in regularly reciting Vedic literatures. So here Krishna is continuing to instruct Arjuna on the divisions of faith, the true faith and false faith, faith in the good, in the mode of goodness, and as has been characterized that also faith that they're also divided, in the modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance. So here, Krishna is trying to explain to him how, what are the regulations of a truthful faith that one should follow. And here it's being described about speech. Speech normally is so sometimes so tough, especially here Prabhupada is correctly mentioning the relationship between a student and his spiritual master. Because the spiritual master, they don't dilly-dally, they give the truth as it is. And the students, they have to, accept what the spiritual master is saying, whether it's bitter or sweet. It's always, the scriptures, they're always, bitter in the sense that the instructions, they are so hard to follow. It's just basically like the four basic principles that we are supposed to follow, and these are the rules and regulations that you have to follow. ABCD, no meeting, no gambling, no intoxicants, and no illicit sex. So if you consider the Western world where these things are normal, it's not like it's not so strange, to find a couple staying together who are not married, and So when Prabhupada went to these places and started instructing them on the proper way, it's the most civilized, cultural, well-cultured society is supposed to behave and act. Then it becomes it's painful. It becomes hard for them to follow. Understand? So this is the truth that sometimes has to be spoken, but it's bitter. But it's just bare, you just put it there, and whoever wants to follow, follows, and whoever declines, then falls into the illusion, falls into the Maya. And this is what Prabhupada was trying to get us, Westerners, or the other people who are not, following the Vedic culture from, when somebody says you are living like an animal, it hurts, It's like, how am I an animal, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. It's quite obvious. The animals are doing the same. You are doing the same. So what is the difference between you and an animal? So unless one has, good consciousness, unless one has developed, has risen to that mode of, goodness, then, for him to understand, it's possible, but if he has not raised to that standard, it's still, in between the modes of ignorance and passion, that becomes bitter. It becomes so hard for them to understand. So this is what Prabhupada is trying to say here. And also Prabhupada used to, be heavy, especially on the politicians. And he used to tell his devotees, I'm an old man, I can't say what I want to do. I want to say, but you, because you're still young, you have to be very careful on the way you present this, on the way you talk to the politicians. So it's heavy, it's the Vedic scriptures, they are so clear, especially for, politicians who are, not very, they're not ruling, as for example, we have Lord Ramachandra, who came to, set an example of, Russia's rulers, in this world. So it's so hard, for us to come by, such rulers. And this is the way of the Vedic culture. This is the way, Prabhupada, has set all these things. So while speaking, also, we have to be like, the talk has to be pleasant, like you are saying, you go to other, I was in America and it was so fun, you meet a person for the first time and it's like you're fighting with him. It's like, hello, I'm just meeting you for the first time, while you're talking to me so harshly, and it's just a matter of, just normal talking, So even that, it has to be regulated. Instead, we have to be talking in a pleasant way. And properly, the Vedic culture is such a culture that it brings the human in us. We start acting like human beings, not just like immediately a dog meets another dog, they start barking, wah, rah, 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 for nothing. So we have to learn how to talk to other people and in a pleasant way. Even if it is true, like I was saying, it has to be talked pleasantly, in a nice way. And then Prabhupada is mentioning here lastly, that we should limit that. Most of the time, when we are, in the material world, there are so many things, to talk about, there's politics, fashion, whatever and whatever. So all these things, basically, they don't, add value to our lives, although, we always end up getting involved in them. So instead of us getting a lot of, newspapers to read, a lot of news to watch, because instead of, wasting our time in all these things, Prabhupada is, mentioning of the Vedic literatures, where it says that there is a limitless stock of Vedic literatures, which we can, engage ourselves in reading and studying, and thus, act like, that will act like a penance of speech, by regularly, reciting Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, then we are, doing some penance. We are actually following some austerities in that we are not, talking of, other topics other than the topics of the Supreme Personality, or, topics that are related to Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it's a short purport. I've got to go. I'm sorry. Any questions? Comments? Translation Bhagavad Gita King. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.